there, and welcome to Successful.
Beautiful.
And
I'm Natalie,
I'm Nikki.
I'm Tanika.
and we are excited that you've chosen to join us again today.
Yes.
Hey, y'all. Hey. All right. Y'all good?
Yes.
Good.
Y'all look cute.
You look cute too.
I like that t-shirt.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Love the t-shirt.
Love our t-shirts.
Mhm.
We're trying them out. Tell us what y'all think about them. Hopefully you like them as much as we do.
Yes.
I don't know that we'll necessarily change it if you don't, because we do, but we really want to know if you guys like them or not. Okay, so our last episode was great.
It was.
It was great. It was deep.
It was deep.
Yeah,
A lot of vulnerability. Yeah.
Lots of vulnerability
Mhm.
and emotionality.
Mhm.
So we talked about rejection. Really a lot from the perspective of the two of you,
Mhm.
from childhood, the little girl
Right.
inside that was rejected by a parent or parents.
Mhm.
And I shared some things that my children had experienced in regards to rejection by their father. Life-changing things, life-altering
Mhm.
things for everyone. Something else that we realize is that there's definitely a bridge between rejection and grief.
Absolutely.
Right. Most of the time when we think about grief, we think about the loss of a loved one. But grief is a very expansive word. I want to give us a definition again, because I like for us to have a working definition, because we can sometimes define things the way that we want them to be defined.
Mhm.
But so you'll know what we're talking about as we're talking about grief today. And I'm trying to decide if I want to give the American Psychological Association definition or what came up on Google, just random.
Just do both.
Okay, I'll do both.
Do both.
Okay, so we'll start with the APA. Grief, the anguish experienced after significant loss, usually the death of a beloved person. Grief is often distinguished from bereavement and mourning. Not all bereavements result in a strong grief response, and not all grief is given public expression, meaning crying. Grief often includes physiological distress, separation anxiety, confusion, yearning, obsessive dwelling on the past, and apprehension about the future. Intense grief can become life-threatening through disruption of the immune system, self-neglect, and suicidal ideation. Grief may also take the form of regret for something lost, remorse for something done, or sorrow for a mishap to oneself. That's deep.
That is deep. I wasn't expecting all of that.
Yes.
I think that covers everything.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I do want to read this portion. I'll read the one from the just random Google as well. Grief is a natural emotional response to loss and the process of coping with it. It's a deeply personal experience that can manifest as a range of feelings, including sadness, anger, guilt, or confusion, and can also affect physical and mental well-being. While often associated with the death of a loved one, grief can stem from any significant loss, such as a relationship ending, a job loss, or major life changes, and there is no right or wrong way to grieve.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's more day to day,
Mhm.
whereas, the APA is going to give you the science of it all.
Mhm.
Excuse me. As you all know, I recently lost my mom, and I've experienced grief, a significant loss before, but I was much, much younger, and the loss of my fiance, and I shared that in one episode, that was definitely life-changing, so much so that I didn't make decisions that I had planned to make for my life.
Mm.
I just stopped and didn't go the direction that he and I had planned to go as a couple or whatnot. And because I didn't, life looks like it does right now,
Mhm. Wow.
because of that,
Mhm.
because I fully believe that had I made the move that I had planned to make and go to the school that I had planned to go to, that I would not be in Texas, that I would be, pardon me, my phone is going off for my alarm.
One moment.
One moment, please. Thought I turned all of those off. But I just know that life wouldn't look like it does right now. I would not be living in Texas, no question about it. But I wouldn't have my children.
Right.
Because I never, ever would have married, dated
that person,
said hello to
that person.
Yeah, that the ex. Yeah, so life would be different.
Life would be different.
Absolutely. So grief. So I was saying, mom passed, and at this recording, it's been a month. Oh, today's the 2nd. Wow, it's been a month. Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that, and then I can think of other things that I have grieved that are far less important, but were still important to me. I shared with a client because she was feeling so bad that she was mourning or grieving the loss of her home. And I told her, I said, it really is okay, that you're sad about that, because it's something significant to you that is now gone.
Right.
And I shared with her that my first car that I'd bought outside of marriage that I wanted, because y'all remember I had told y'all I had to trade in the Mercedes and I had to get a Hyundai because that's what I could afford.
Right.
That broke my heart.
Yeah.
But that's what I could afford. And then when I was able to trade that in and get the Audi that I wanted, because I'm a coupe girl. I'm short. Y'all don't know that I'm 5 feet tall. That's all. So I like coupes, and I wanted that. I wanted the car that I got. I liked that. I liked that car. I was able to afford it and the whole nine, and I got it. And then I had a really bad car accident, and it was totaled, and I grieved that too. And I think sometimes we don't necessarily connect all of the things that we can lose with grief. And we do minimize, like my client did in regards to her home. That's a big deal.
It is.
And losing the home, and she was going through divorce, which is why the loss was there. But yeah, all those things are significant and all those things matter. There's not something that is less than because of, it being a materialistic thing or not. If it's important to you and it's lost, that matters.
Right.
Yeah. So that includes jobs and relationships and, I was talking to another client a couple of days ago, and she was saying, she was like, I'm aging and I don't necessarily like how I'm aging. When you see yourself losing your youth, that matters.
Yes, it does.
So anyway, so that's kind of a discussion about grief. However, there is a segue from rejection to grief, because when you are rejected, there is a loss of what should have been,
right?
And there's a grief of that. Yeah. So, Nikki,
yes.
what says the right there in regards to rejection leading into grief?
I can say I definitely can not only agree, but something that I lived and am living currently. I think with in the previous episode, we talked about my lack of relationship with my father. So it's interesting because I never had a relationship, but grieved the thought of the relationship, so what I saw on the Cosby Show or what I saw from my friends who were in two-parent households, I grieved from a different perspective, if you will. So that was interesting. And then more currently tying that to the loss of relationship. So I've lost relationships, more specifically grieve the relationship of the loss of my marriage. And there's definitely, for me, a link there because there was a time that a decision was made that I was no longer the choice. And so I was rejected.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And what I found interesting about that was we had a conversation, me, my husband, as Joy.
Hashtag Joy Trout.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with another couple, and in this conversation, my husband said, I'm not going to do to her what her father did to her. And I was angry by that statement because they didn't even know about my situation with my father.
So you were angry then?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because they didn't know, the lack of relationship with my father. And I didn't feel like I needed to share that because it's, really not relevant, and I don't want you in my business like that, But then too, I felt like you did exactly what he did and worse.
Yeah.
Because you've known me for 23 years and now you're choosing to reject me.
And your father never knew you.
And my father never knew me. So that was the worst part.
Absolutely.
So you've been exposed to me as a partner, a mother to our children,
a friend.
We built ministry together. We built life together.
Yeah.
We impacted lives together. And now you changed your mind and decided that I am not what you want. And that was rejection.
Absolutely.
And so just that was a whole process in dealing with that.
Yeah.
And grieving that relationship.
Wow. T?
What was the question?
the bridge from rejection
That was good,
to grief.
Okay.
And kind of how that speaks to you.
Yeah, I'm going from the bridge. So coming to Dallas from Houston, running from my stepfather in that situation, and then running into what I felt like was like, the savior.
Yeah.
Who I felt like taught me everything I know. I wasn't street smart. I was 17. And so, like you said, your friend, you lost your friend. At least you thought it was your friend. For a moment, it was your friend. Guess, I don't know. No, Natalie, I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, the life that you had until now. But I'm learning the power of letting go. And that was hard for me because I thought that's why I stayed so long. The power of letting go, even in things now, if you're dating and you say, hey, this is not working for me. Let it go. And it's okay.
It is.
You grieve it and you move on. And if that doesn't work, let it go. It's okay. You have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
And so that's powerful for me to let go and not to hold on again. Not kicking, screaming, and, hold on just to have someone or hold on just for the status quo. It's the power of letting go for me. Grief is hard.
It absolutely is.
It is very hard.
And I think that, letting go is a part of grieving.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So there are 5 stages of grief. There's the denial phase, there's bargaining, there's depression, there's anger, and there's acceptance, right? The grief is not linear.
Right.
It looks like a ball of yarn.
Yes.
It's just all twisted up and, where's the end?
Right.
Have y'all ever tried to unravel a ball of yarn? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how people make sweaters.
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, grief is not linear. It just kind of happens. It's like throwing it at the wall, and where it lands, that's the emotion or the space that you're in or the stage that you're in that moment. Not even necessarily in that day,
Right.
For that
moment,
day, but in that moment. So, again, I was saying, I think that letting go is a part of that. And because there's been a decision to let go, or there's been a realization that there's been a loss of something important in that in your life or whatnot, doesn't mean that it's over.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that you've landed at acceptance, because even when you do get to acceptance, it doesn't mean that there aren't any more emotions.
No.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of this ongoing thing, you know, is we don't forget the things that we experience
Right.
in life, because
Right.
honestly, when we get to the point that we are forgetting things, then we have some other stuff going on
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
have to be concerned about,
Yeah.
you know,
I
Like
agree.
dementia.
like dementia.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because our brains aren't created to forget.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
They're created to take in information, house that information, and use it where appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we start forgetting stuff, then
Yeah.
we have some other issues.
And it's not abnormal.
Mhm.
Grief is natural. I think sometimes we think, oh, I'm feeling this way, one of the 5 stages, and it's like, this is abnormal. I know for me, I'm hard on myself. So I start thinking, oh, I shouldn't be feeling. It's okay to sit in it
Absolutely.
and to feel it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's natural. It's not abnormal.
Yeah.
So
Like one of the definitions, I'm sorry, one of the definitions said that it's a natural
yes,
response.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it just is. I'm sorry, Nikki, I cut you off.
I think I forgot.
Oh no.
I think I was gonna say that it's also healthy to
Mhm.
grieve.
Yeah.
And there is no time period or time frame. You just grieve until you're done grieving.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
think when you talk about being hard on yourself, we think that, okay, I should not still be grieving
Right.
Yes.
because it's
Right.
been however long it's been.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you still have to allow yourself the time and space
Yeah.
to grieve and not put yourself in a box.
Absolutely.
Because
And-
anything, I'm sorry, go ahead. I keep it.
She said, "Mm-mm."
I'm sorry.
And I think when you are in a place where you are emotionally mature,
Mhm.
that you understand the importance of grieving
Mhm.
because it's part of the process
Yes.
of letting go.
Mhm.
You know, you have to go through the stages. And I'll say the stages where you said earlier that it's not linear.
Right.
So that means that you can go from acceptance back to denial
Absolutely.
Yeah.
in moments.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm done.
Because I keep interrupting.
Nikki said,
I had an opportunity to speak at a summit this past weekend, and one of the audience members during the Q&A said that she had been divorced for a number of years, over 10 years, I think. And she said, but I found myself, I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember exactly. She said, I found myself upset or experiencing some emotion in regards to it. And so she said she started to question herself. Well, am I not healed? You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And I thought, and I can't remember how long she said that she had been married, but if you're married for any period of time, and you got married for reasons of love and wanting to spend the rest of your life, because some people get married for convenience, you know, business transactions or whatnot. But if you've made that decision and it was made in love, there's going to be some grief.
Yeah.
I don't care how long you were married,
Right.
you know, because you're going to look at that as a loss,
Right.
because this is something that you chose to be a part of, that you had expectation of, and then it ends,
Right.
you know, whether it was abrupt or, you know, if it kind of happened over time or whatnot, there's still this loss that is there. And so I told her, I said, that's grief. And just because there is still some form of grief or some emotion still connected doesn't mean that you're not healed, if you
Right.
will. You know, you just have some connection emotionally still there. And it still
Absolutely.
doesn't even mean that she hadn't let go.
Right.
It just means that you had this experience in your life, these lived experiences that mattered,
Right.
you know, and our hearts, you know, our emotions are housed in our hearts. And we experience things and we feel things,
Yeah.
you know, and so there may be some things that kind of trigger certain emotions,
Yeah.
and it's okay. It doesn't mean that you're stuck.
Yeah.
It means that you have a heart,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, and you feel the emotion of it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
That
Me
is so
too.
profound.
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I think, feel that if you have an emotional response to something that you're healed from,
Right.
then it means that you're not healed, just like you said.
Yeah.
And that is just so profound. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you just freed 500 people.
Well, praise God.
Yeah. Yes.
Seriously.
Be free.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome that
Yeah.
you said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said in regards to the time frame.
Mhm.
So something that I find a couple of things with that is that some people may believe that you ought to be over something in a certain time frame.
Mhm.
Also, some people think that if they've been in something for a really long period of time, that they can have this short window and everything's just going to be fine.
Mhm.
Neither of which are true.
Right.
You know, if you've been in something for 50 years,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll talk about like somebody that may have owned a company because, you know, with our economy and the government
Yeah.
currently, there are lots of people losing
Right.
lots of things.
Right.
Mhm.
So say somebody has owned a company for 50 years or so,
Mhm.
and then they have to close the doors.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is not going to take them 2 years,
No.
Right.
you know,
Right.
to grieve
Mhm.
50 years.
Right.
You know, it's going to take some time,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, with that. By the same token, if they have been in something for 2 years, it may not take them 50 years,
Yeah.
you know, and they very well may be able to grieve, have a healthier grieving process
Mhm.
and quote unquote be over it, you know, in a shorter window of time. But there's just no gauge
Right.
to that. And we have to
Right.
stop putting a time limit
Yes.
on
Yeah.
people's hearts.
I agree.
Because I think that that's what we're trying to do
Exactly.
in that. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
comparing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like this person did it and this is like,
Mhm.
she's not me. I'm not her. I'm not him.
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
Right.
It's hard
Right.
enough being me. So be who you are. No, it's serious because
Yeah.
competition is a thing.
Yeah.
People look at different situations and compare themselves
Mhm.
to that based on what someone else has went through
Yeah. Yeah.
and don't know the full details.
Mhm.
That part.
I remember I met this one guy in this dating over 50 thing. I may not have been 50 at the time. I may have been in my 40s. But anyway, I'd been divorced for quite a while because it will be 10 years in March that I've
Wow.
been divorced.
Wow.
As she stares at the camera.
And smiles.
God is good.
Yes, he is.
So the question often is in dating, well, why aren't you married?
Mhm.
You know? Number of reasons. And my response, after a while, I thought, God, I need to be able to say all of the things. I want to be able to like give my elevator pitch, if you will, that's inclusive of it all. The first thing is that a lot of people weren't, what's the word? What I'm looking for? They weren't ready for. I said, well, I had to take time to heal,
Mhm.
you know, because a lot of people just go,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know. I wasn't willing to do that because I'd already lost so much and I didn't want to just go. I wanted to take time
Yeah.
for Natalie and I didn't want anybody else to be hurt because of me,
Yeah.
you know, but I had to take the time that I needed to just kind of sit with me and do therapy and, you know, all of those things. And I went out on dates, but I was far from, you know, trying to do a relationship because I know me.
Mhm.
If I'm being in a relationship, I'm in there,
Right.
you know. That wouldn't have been healthy because I'd have broke them and they'd have broke me and then I'd have broke something.
You know what?
And I don't do jail.
You're not my dear.
I'm not. I'm not jail material.
That reminds me, one of my friends just told me, you get to choose. We don't get to choose our children. We don't get to choose who our parents are, but we do get to choose the person that we lay next to every night. It's a choice.
Absolutely.
So I love what you just said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's good.
Yes.
That is good.
Yes.
Y'all got some bad pickers.
But I love that. You're right. You know,
Yes.
you want to take time to figure out what it is that you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
important.
again.
Yes, it is.
And I think people like just go, like you said, especially out of fear of being alone.
Yeah. Trying to
Yeah.
fill in that
Trying
void.
to fill that void
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not healthy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not, and it can be detrimental.
Yeah.
You know, and please don't hear this as judgment, because we all could have made a whole lot of decisions,
Yeah.
and we all have made some
Yeah.
decisions for
Mhm.
sure. I just know me.
Mhm.
You know, I know that if I'm connected with somebody, I'm gonna be connected with
Yes.
them, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. So I wanted to give some other areas in which grief, how it kind of shows up.
Mhm.
It shows up emotionally. It can also show up physically. Yeah. I was sharing with a client the other day about, pardon me, about anxiety.
Mhm.
And I was telling her, more often than not, anxiety like shows up in your gut.
Mhm.
You know, how some people will say, you know, oh, I have butterflies.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
but I was also saying that sometimes anxiety can show up in the back of your head as a headache, you know, and it kind of works its way down,
Yeah.
you know. And she said, oh my God. She says, I
Mhm.
didn't tell you, but, you know, I had some pain,
Mhm.
you know, in my head, and it's gone down to my shoulders.
Mhm.
You know, it's like, yeah, that can be stress and anxiety for
Mhm.
sure, for sure. Have y'all experienced?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was really trying to wait, so I wouldn't cut you off.
Cool.
But when I tell you my stomach was in knots
Yeah.
and my head, I mean, there were days where I couldn't eat because I couldn't hold it down,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, and the headaches. I'm better with the headaches now, but I remember that season and it was really difficult because I still had to be mom
Mm-hmm.
and go to work and get my professor on
Mm-hmm.
and all those things, and it was a lot. It was
Yeah.
a lot, and there were times I just didn't want to, but I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. What about you, T?
There were definitely days that I didn't want to, but I had to. But the crazy thing with me is that I was sicker physically when I was there
Mm.
than now.
Wow.
I don't understand it.
Mhm.
I don't have headaches. I don't have the anxiety.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. I think I shared this with you guys before we divorced. I had gone to my OBGYN for my regular checkup. Every time I had gone, you know, over the years, or if I had to go in for a check anytime in between, my blood pressure was always higher than it was the time before. Always.
Wow.
For years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this time when I had gone in, it was exceptionally high. And he said, Miss Dyer, I don't know what is happening or what you have going on in your life, but whatever that is, you need to get rid of it. He had no idea he was talking about the husband.
The husband.
The husband, hashtag.
Hallelujah.
And I thought, wow, you know, because there were so many things that I was experiencing physically, you know, that honestly had been happening for so long that I'd normalized it like we typically do,
Yeah.
especially as African American women.
Yeah,
We can have a pain here, you know, discomfort there, and we just kind of take it. And, you know, it's like, okay, well, I'll get a check later, or not even think about getting a check because we got to still be mom, you know,
Exactly.
and the professor or whatever we do for career, and, you know, and just keep moving forward. But yeah, he told me that, you know, and again, he had no idea he was talking about him, but he didn't. So got rid of him.
Yeah.
You know, but it makes sense though, T, that you would experience now less physical symptoms because you're not in it.
Yeah.
You know, that was the relief that you needed.
Yeah.
And I remember us talking about a lot of the things that you dealt with physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let me just say for the record, because I have so many people, I don't want people to think that that we are advocating for divorce.
Oh, absolutely.
We are not advocating for divorce. But what we are saying is to choose you. And in a marriage, it takes two people. It's not just one person.
Right.
But don't hold on to something that's not holding on to you.
Hey. Ooh, Lord.
And that is so true. That is the truth. And oftentimes as women, we're moms, we're have our careers, and we're fighting to say, oh, and I have a husband and my husband does this. That's the first thing people ask you. What does your husband do?
Oh, in
When they
regards to
see you
career.
successful at work, yeah. What does your husband do? I don't have one. So it's okay. It's okay. Don't hold on to something that's not holding on to you. And so if you're going to fight for your marriage, make sure you both are fighting for it, not just one person. If one person is fighting for it and that person is you, let it go. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, choose you.
Yeah. Definitely not advocating for divorce, because the scripture tells us that God hates divorce.
Yes.
Exactly.
So something that I learned some years ago from a pastor, and I thought that is really good. It's really, really good, and I hold that true into heart today. As a divorced woman, I know that it's true that God hates divorce. God would rather we fight, get healed, and remain, right? And like Tanyika was saying, it's real difficult to have a fight with one person.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to box. It's like there's a scripture that talks about boxing in the air.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to win this match. You know, when the other person is just kind of sitting in their corner, not doing anything, or doing so many things that are making it difficult for this fight to even be entered into.
Right.
You know, just keep throwing things in there that's giving your opponent the victory before you even get in the ring. They already won. They hand already up.
Right.
They got the belt and everything.
Exactly.
We ain't even made it
Exactly.
because you keep doing
Right. Yeah.
stuff.
SH.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's good.
And you're laying in the ring, passed out, like you say, that person got the belt, holding their hands up, and you're saying, "Oh, don't look at her. She all right. She all right."
They didn't count it to 10.
Yeah,
We haven't even started for real.
Yeah. Nobody's resuscitated. Nobody's laying dead. So
yeah. But again, we're certainly not advocating for divorce.
Yeah.
If you can fight for your marriage and both of you guys are willing to fight. Yes. And if you are willing to fight for your marriage and your mate is not willing to fight, and that is the choice that you make, then fight. We are not saying do what we did. By no means. By no means. Divorce sucks. Yes. Divorce is hard. Yes. Divorce is depleting. It's draining. It's so many things, so many negative things.
Yes.
However, if it's necessary,
so necessary,
and we felt like it was for us, then here we are. Yeah. Okay. So grief and the physical things. There's also behavioral changes that can happen with grief. You might find yourself, I'll talk about me, like just the other day, I was driving somewhere and just the lack of focus, you know, I found myself going in a different direction than where I was supposed to be going. And I was like, why am I over here? You know, and I thought, Lord Jesus, okay, Lord, help my mind, you know, made my U-turn and had to go the other direction because I was thinking about so many other things, you know, but there are behavioral changes that can happen with grief. There can be confusion. There can be changes in your social behaviors. You may not want to do the things that you typically would do. You know, with grief, you may do a whole lot of extra things that you typically wouldn't do. You know, again, at that same summit that I spoke at this past weekend, there was a pastor that spoke, and I was so grateful that he was open and honest about this. And he was saying that when he had an experience with divorce, he drank a lot. I think he said that the drink became his friend, you know, in his mind in those moments. I was so grateful that he said that, you know, so that people can normalize people in certain positions, but also because those are some of the things that we do.
Right.
You know, we start making some real bad choices for us.
Yeah.
You know, because excessive drinking is not good for anybody.
No.
Right.
You know, and then he said he had to make some different decisions because he realized, you know, I'm doing too much.
Yeah.
You know, so he made some changes in that or whatnot. But there are people that overdrink. There are people that start using drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
There are people that start using sex. You know, overworking. There's even overworking out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
true.
truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
The trainer here.
Yes.
Nikki.
Trainer.
But it's just the truth. You know,
Yeah.
we can overdo some things in order to try and compensate
Compensate.
Yeah.
for the loss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You got something to say.
I can just identify with all of it.
Yes.
The overworking out.
Yeah.
I think I maybe still do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just the change, because I definitely just dove into work more.
Me too.
You know,
Yeah.
like they needed somebody to come. No, my students wanted extra help with the microscope. Okay, let's do it. I'll be there.
Yeah.
And just went to work on the weekends.
Yeah.
You know, and just trying to, I don't know, fill a void, but also fill my time up so I wouldn't have to grieve,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so I wouldn't have to
Avoiding it
think
all.
about what was going on and not deal with it.
Yeah. And just not feeling like your usual self.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely out of sorts.
Yeah. I even think that sometimes we feel like our identity changes. You know, like we're just not who we know us to be.
Right.
You know, and I think some of that can be bad, but I think some can be good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because now you get to reclaim or what's the word I'm looking for right here? You get to re-identify.
Right.
Is that a word?
Yes.
Yes. You get to re-identify who you are.
Yes.
You know, you start figuring out, oh, I don't like that
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah.
You know, let me work on that. Let me change that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you smiling at?
I can
Yeah.
so relate.
Yes.
Yeah. Just I think I talked about this before, the evolution of Nikki,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that has been a blessing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
There's an emotional response to grief as well. I'll just read these things. You may experience intense and unexpected emotions like sadness, shock, disbelief, anxiety, or numbness.
Mm.
You know, sometimes I remember after divorce, I would think, "Oh my God, I have to remember to do this,
Yeah.
and it seemed like the list just kept getting longer and longer. It seemed like it never ever shortened. There was always something else added to it, you know. And then all of those were the responsibilities, but then you want to try to have a social life. How do you add this to that, you know, and do it well and not feel stressed by it? And you want to make sure that your kids have normalcy, whatever the hell that looked like,
Right.
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of those things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Did y'all experience that? The emotional stuff with grief?
I think so. What gets me sometimes, Natalie, are the triggers.
Mm-hmm.
And the other night I got a text and said, "Is this First Lady Drake?" So I was like, "Oh God,
Like, who is this? Say, no. Sorry, you have the wrong number.
And so I really thought about that. You have to really make sure that you control it so that it doesn't control you.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because normally at a different place, that would have sent me like my mind twirling, like,
Yeah.
oh God, you know, and feeling sad. But I immediately text back, "This is Tonika Drake.
Mm-hmm.
It is. How are you?" They needed to talk. And so I cannot erase who I was.
Yeah.
I can't erase that,
Mm-hmm.
but I can embrace who I am now. And just as a human being,
Right.
I have to be there for people. I can't say, "Oh, I'm no longer there.
Yeah.
And I don't go there anymore," and you know, call somebody else.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it today.
Yeah.
You still have a responsibility with ministry to
Mhm.
say, "How can I help?"
Mm-hmm.
I called, I prayed, and I moved on.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything else about it. But typically, I like what you've been saying. I'd be in my head, I would have been in my head thinking all the things. But the Lord has matured me and let me release that and say, okay, it's boots on the ground.
Yeah.
What can I do?
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
And can I say that you are still, even though you don't have the title, you're still her.
yeah.
Yes.
You're still compassionate.
Yeah.
You still show empathy.
Yeah.
You still relate to people.
Yeah.
And you still want to help people.
Yeah.
So that part of you has not changed.
Yeah.
Just the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the title didn't make you that. You
Right.
came
That's right.
with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad I didn't change my number because that was one of the things that I said I was going to do initially.
yeah.
That I was
Yeah.
going to, I don't know if I mentioned that to y'all, but I was going to change my number because I just didn't want that many people to have my number and I wanted to start my life all over. But it's all about ministry at the end of the day. And I think the Lord is pleased.
Absolutely. And you have started your life all over.
Yeah.
They just are able to contact you
Exactly.
in this new life.
In this new life.
Right.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
behold, all things are new.
Ah,
Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you.
He makes all things new.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and then lastly, the cognitive impacts, difficulty thinking straight, making decisions, or even a loss of a sense of direction can occur.
Been there.
Yeah. And I don't know that that's necessarily talking about north, south, east, and west.
Right.
I think it's meaning direction. What in the world am I
Yes.
supposed to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that sign that says north, south, east, west. It's just spinning. It's like, hell is it? Is north this way? Or is it, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. Sometimes you have those moments.
Yeah,
Still.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sitting in the middle of the forked road, you know, which direction
Way to go.
do I
Yeah.
go? Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely felt all of that. I remember showing up to work and I was just thinking, how am I going to have this lecture on dynamics of prokaryotic growth?
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen.
What?
It's like, just how am I going to talk about mitosis?
Yeah.
You know, but I thank God that He gave me the capacity to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there were days,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there were days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me think about the work that I do. I'm like, God, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there ought to be like this extended grace for the work that I do, like so I can do it effectively and still feel all the feelings that I have. I was talking to a client, my very first client of the day, and she had lost her mother a few years ago, and there was just a difficult space for her on that day. And I thought, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm grateful that in that space, God gave me the grace that I needed, you know, to be able to help her and I not be triggered by what it is that she was experiencing, you know, or whatnot. But even after divorce, my clientele of married couples skyrocketed. I mean,
Wow.
and I
Really?
thought, okay, God.
Yeah.
And I said this at the summit this past weekend. I am more effective now in helping couples that have experienced divorce or are experiencing divorce or trouble in their marriage or whatnot. I have so much more wisdom now than I did then.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because you've lived it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to see the impact that God allows me to have in their, or uses me to have in their lives, that's really dope.
I love that, Natalie.
Yeah.
I love love.
Yes.
I think marriage is beautiful.
Absolutely.
When you have two people willing to put in that work.
Yes.
I think it's beautiful.
For
so
sure.
I'm glad that you're able to do that and make an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What else y'all got? Anything?
Come on, Nikki.
Y'all want me to talk about mitosis? Here we go.
And how does that lead to grief?
Yes.
What?
Some kind of way. Hey, she can make it fit. Come
I
on,
can make
Nikki.
it fit now.
But I'm so grateful for both of you ladies that we can sit and we can talk, we can share.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot together now. We can laugh, we
Absolutely.
can cry. I just feel like y'all, I can text and say whatever I need to say.
Absolutely.
There's never any judgment. So
Never,
I just want to say I love y'all and thank y'all so much.
Put the bat down, Tanyika. Put the bat. Drive away.
No. You mean the gun. Let's just be clear. You mean the gun. Put the gun down.
Not the lighter fluid.
I just love it. I do. Voices of reason. You need that in your life. Yeah. Because life can sometimes knock you down, you know, and you feel like you can't knock you out. Yeah.
And it has.
Yes. And you feel like you can't breathe, can't get up. It takes a great support system, and not just anybody that's going to tell you something crazy. Come on, we riding together. Come on, let's all go get it.
But we can, just to be clear. If we need to.
What time? Bet.
Golf clubs and all. No, we're prayer warriors. We're going to come sit in the parking lot
with golf clubs.
Yes.
And dressed in black. Okay.
Yes. But this is good. I think this has helped so many people, you know, so many women on so many levels.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of women to reach out to us.
We have.
And so that in itself is amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
And have been vulnerable in their comments.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate that you all have experienced the things that you have experienced that are similar to us, and even the different ones. But thank you for trusting us to share your comment, because you don't have to do that, you know, and I appreciate that. And even the comments that seem a little off, you know, we appreciate those though, you know, those as well, because we want to hear from everybody. Yeah. And you guys do a really, really good job of that. So thank you. Thank you for that. There was something else I was going to say, but it's escaped my mind now. So never mind. All right. You have anything else?
I was going to say, this content is so amazing.
Yes.
And if you love it, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because you all are the ones that keep us going.
Yes.
Most definitely. I think I even want to say that if there's specific things that you would like for us to talk about, we might be willing to do that. We want to hear. I don't want to say we definitely will, because we might not.
We might not.
But we want to hear from you. Are there some things that maybe you've experienced? If you're a former pastor's wife, this would be good. If you're a former pastor's wife and there were some things that you experienced that you would like to know, kind of, if we have, and what our approach was to it, or is to it. You know, if we're still dealing with that now, how we've handled that on our healing journeys. Just any advice or anything that we might give. So yeah. That good?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for watching Successful.
Beautiful.
And
we appreciate you. Have an amazing day, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye. The content shared on this podcast is intended for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. While one of our hosts is a licensed professional counselor, the information provided here does not constitute a therapeutic relationship, nor is it a substitute for individualized mental health treatment or diagnosis. Listening to this podcast does not create a client-therapist relationship between you and our hosts. Any stories, examples, or discussions are either fictional, generalized, or used with permission for illustrative purposes and should not be taken as personalized therapeutic guidance. If you are in need of mental health support, we encourage you to consult with a licensed mental health professional in your area. If you are in crisis or experiencing a mental health emergency, please contact 911, your local crisis line, or 988, the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show.